The tension between the One Kenya Alliance and the Uhuru Raila team is increasing at a time when the One Kenya Alliance principals have retreated to Naivasha to go and craft their manifesto and pick their flag bearer ahead of 2022 general election. So two things have happened. The first thing is that Jubilee Party has signed an agreement to go into a coalition with the ODM party. Then as OKA meeting was still going on in Naivasha, which is in Rift Valley region, ODM also called for their declaration rally in Nakuru. Remember, Nakuru is still in Rift Valley region. So all these events were happening in Rift Valley region, because between Naivasha and Nakuru is just a stone throw distance. So this was all happening to attract attention and make the headline in the news. Because as we know, when Kenya Alliance meeting is going on, everyone is waiting to see these guys, what they are going to come out with. They are waiting to see the white smoke from the One Kenya Alliance. Number one, their flag bearer, if really indeed they are going to unveil their flag bearer or pick their flag bearer in that meeting. And number two, they are going to see how these guys are going to turn this One Kenya Alliance into a coalition that will go all the way to the ballot. But now, the ODM party is here arranging for another quick meeting for Raila Amolo Odinga, just to divert that attention. And this meeting also has the blessing of President Uhuru Kenyatta. That's why you see the presence of Jubilee politicians in that meeting. So a lot of things are going to play out. Now, before we go deep into more explanation, you might be watching me and you have not yet subscribed. My humble request, please consider subscribing so that to help us to grow this platform. Again, to all the returning subscribers, thank you so much for always coming back. Now let us continue with our discussion. So one thing that is coming out clear is that President Uhuru Kenyatta has decided finally to work with Raila Amolo Odinga, and Raila might be his preferred candidate going to 2022 general election. That's why you see Jubilee has finally wrote an agreement letter that will foresee these people go into a coalition between ODM and Jubilee. But again, One Kenya Alliance is still insisting that they can only work with the ODM party if Raila Amolo Odinga is going to support one of them and not be fronted as a flag bearer. So as long as Raila Amolo Odinga will be fronted as a candidate, that is going to be a no-go zone for these principles in One Kenya Alliance. And when I talk about this, I'm simply talking about Musalia Mudavadi and Kalonzo Musyoka. Forget about Gideon and Senator Masika Wetangula, because these two guys are the de factos into that OKA coalition. Now, since it is clear who President Uhuru Kenyatta candidate is, and in my view, for President Uhuru Kenyatta's candidate to win the next general election in 2022, he must convince the One Kenya Alliance principals to work with him. Mount Kenya is like they are ready to give a protest vote to President Uhuru Kenyatta's preferred candidate. So dumping Musalia Mudavadi, dumping Kalonzo Musyoka for Mount Kenya vote will be a disappointment for Raila Amolo Odinga on ballot. Because these people, you can watch them very careful and you can see which direction they are going. It's like they are no longer going to listen to President Uhuru Kenyatta, since for them they understand that Uhuru is the outgoing president. Therefore, it does not matter in their future, just like Kibaki. So let him go and let them have their say on ballot in their own way. And having said that, again, it is still vice versa. For the One Kenya Alliance principles to win presidency in 2022, they will need the presence of ODM party. That is the only way they can win election as of now. And once ODM is not working with these guys, definitely it is going to be hard for them to win election in round one, the same way to Raila Amolo Odinga. So whichever way it goes, these guys need one another. That is the truth. So for President Uhuru Kenyatta to succeed easily in 2022 succession politics, the only thing he needs to do is to make sure that One Kenya Alliance and the ODM party are in working terms. Once they succeed that, then that is a done deal. But again, the biggest problem is convincing One Kenya Alliance to work with Raila Amolo Odinga. Now, for the longest time, you see, like when Raila gets to Nakuru, he simply addressed Wananchi easily. Remember, Nakuru is cosmopolitan. We have Luos, Luyas, Kikuyus, Kalenjins, so many people there. That's why it is easy for Raila to address these individuals. But one funny thing that has still been coming out is when Raila Amolo Odinga gets to Central Region. Every time he gets there, he's definitely going to address the business community, those people who are in big business. But it has never come out clear, the same way we see him getting out in Nakuru to address Wananchi. That's why I can say, in my view, if President Uhuru Kenyatta preferred candidate could have been someone like Kalonzo Musyoka or Musalia Mudavadi, then getting a protest vote in the Central Region could have not been the issue of the day. These people can be easily elected in Central Region. That's why you see, up to now, there's a lot of resistance for the acceptance of Raila Amolo Odinga in Central Region. And that has been the biggest problem for President Uhuru Kenyatta to come and deal with. So, another big question is ODM ready to step down for another person? The answer is no. They cannot step down for any other individual. So, having that answer, it is clear ODM will go all the way to the ballot, maybe in that arrangement with President Uhuru Kenyatta. And again, One Kenya Alliance principles are going to go all the way to the ballot. Now, Mudavadi and Kalonzo understand one thing. The issue of convincing other people that Raila Amolo Odinga is going to serve for one term 5 years is a fake news. That can never happen in Kenya. As long as God will give Raila Amolo Odinga good health, I'm sure Raila is going to contest for second term in office, just the same way if William Samoei Ruto will be on the ballot and win that election. The same way Joe Biden will be contesting for the second term in government in government in US is just the same way Raila Amolo Odinga is going to do. Remember, Joe Biden and Raila Amolo Odinga are just age mates. So there's nothing that can stop Raila Amolo Odinga to contest for the second term. Because we understand it is not easy to bring a change in government for your legacy just in 5 years. It might not be that much easy having the kind of corruption we are experiencing in Kenya. So for that reason, ODM will tell you definitely that Raila need to serve the second term for him to make his legacy and bring a change to that government. So all these leaders understand this. There's no one who is going to serve for 5 years. So telling them to support Raila Amolo Odinga that he can serve for 5 years, then he leave the government, they might not buy into that issue. That's why you see they are insisting to go all the way to the ballot. Again, there is another argument here. Why is President Uhuru Kenyatta sticking with Raila Amolo Odinga and not leaving Raila to work with One Kenya Alliance? It is simple. The president understands that the move is going to leave Raila Amolo Odinga or betray him. That is the time Raila is going to unite with William Samoei Ruto to discipline Uhuru Kenyatta. So it is clear you cannot, and now having this clear, if ODM can work with the William Ruto, what stopped this One Kenya Alliance from going to work with William Ruto? Because for them, if Uhuru is going to betray them, and even it was clear outside there, when we had some of these by-elections, you saw ODM was crying, UDA party was crying, and then even they were threatening to go and work with the William Ruto and to dump the handshake. So, in my view, I also see the possibility of these guys also even working with One Kenya Alliance and UDA party. That can be after the first round of election, where we will need to have a rerun. These people are still somehow angry the way ODM treated them. For that reason, in as much Raila might insist to go all the way to the ballot, I can see these people agreeing to work with William Samoei Ruto in a rerun to discipline Raila Amolo Odinga. Why? Because Raila also ametoa kisu. Wakati ametoa kisu, kondoo mwenye ilikuwa chinje ameona kisu. Na wakati ameona kisu anakimbia. The time Raila Amolo Odinga start working with people like the Machakos governor Alfred Mutua to show Kalonzo that if you dump me, I have Mutua here. The time Raila comes in with someone like Oparanya to tell Mudavadi, look here, if you don't play, Oparanya is here. So these guys can be out to tell Raila that we can all go all the way to the ballot and let us have our numbers, and you have your Oparanya, you have your Alfred Mutua and the team. Then at the end of the day, they meet on ballot to see what can come out. So in that way, I cannot rule a possibility of One Kenya Alliance working with William Samoei Ruto, because Pia Ruto amekabwa ko. The Kura, the Central region is not enough to help Ruto to become the president. He needs other regions. Because again, we are sure President Uhuru Kenyatta will not come with empty hand in Central. He might get some vote here and there. So for that reason, it is going to reduce the amount of vote William Samoei Ruto is going to get there. So for that reason, he understands he might need other people and serious people. That's why I believe that William Samoei Ruto is not in a hurry to go into a coalition with people like Moses Kuria. He's waiting to see if we can negotiate with other people who are more senior than Moses Kuria in the other regions like Western, Nyanza, Eastern, and Coastal region. Thank you so much for listening to me. May good God bless you, and see you in our next video. See you.